You want to know what it looks like when an immigrant says the harsh truth?
You have lost. You lost. The mistake that you made is you let us in the first place. See, that's the thing with brown people. And I'm going to say this as a brown person. There's a lot of us, like a lot. There's like 1.2 billion in India. There's more than 200 million in Pakistan. There's like 170 million in Bangladesh. Those are just the people there. I'm even talking about the folks who are expats or immigrants. There's a bunch of us, and we breed. We're a breeding people. And the problem is you let us in 1965. There were a few of us beforehand, but once you let one of us in, you know what happens with brown folks? Our grandmother comes, our grandfather comes, our uncle comes, our aunt comes, our cousin comes, our second cousin comes, our third cousin comes. Then we have kids, a bunch of kids. And then guess what? Some white women, the Western civilization women, the pure women, the American women, quote unquote, the Rust Belt women, the real women, they like some of us brown folks. We don't take them. They come to us. So we're embedded. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. I've traveled this country. I'm going to speak as a brown person. Brown people are everywhere. There will be a Patel motel or there will be a Desi restaurant everywhere. I want you to realize this. You have lost. Your story is a shitty story filled with misery. It's filled with bland chicken. It's filled with terrible, terrible dry ass meat. Your music sucks. All your culture sucks. Nobody. That's why the kids like listen to black people and their music. That's why the kids love Latinos. Your parties suck because they're monochromatic. Our parties have better food, better music, better looking women.
Man, I can't even hate on this guy for real. I wish I had the ability to speak as freely as he does. And I was also scrolling on X and I found the following post. White people are on the verge of extinction. Global population of white people, 100 years ago, roughly 35%. 50 years ago, roughly 20%. 25 years ago, 15%. Today, just 8%. White people are the minorities and must take their countries back. No more tolerance, no more suicidal empathy. Even Elon Musk replied to it with, if current trends continue, whites will go from being a small minority of world population today to virtually extinct.
That's why I say, when people talk about immigration, a lot of people don't like to hear this, but when it comes to immigration, it's sort of over. That's why we want to infiltrate politics. When people say we'll sacrifice everything to get moderate immigration restriction, it's like, what do you think you're really preventing or stalling? It's kind of a done deal. And that doesn't mean I'm saying we shouldn't still keep fighting or, whatever. But it's like when people say immigration is an end all be all, it's make or break. It's like we kind of lost. White births have been 50% of all births for 13 years now. We got 10 million illegals. None of them are going back. Maybe if we're lucky, 1.5 million might go back, So you hate to talk like that, but that's kind of a battle it's kind of done. And, it doesn't mean that the war for the West doesn't keep going, but the question is, what is the goal and how? For me, it's more about getting political power than getting concessions like, oh, we'll reduce immigration a little bit. It's like, how much is that really changing?
Can someone explain to me why this observation is problematic? Because I don't think it is. Canadians especially are never allowed to discuss this openly, otherwise we face potential criminal repercussions. Many of you asked why I show Nick Fuentes, who's an American influencer. Well, it's because there are literally 0 Canadian content creators who can openly speak about the issue of immigration without facing various threats or deplatforming.
It literally doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. What are you talking about? If we mass deport people, then how do we deal with the economy? It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. Do you want to know why? Because even if we went into another Great Depression and it was the worst case scenario, in 100 years, we would still have America. If we don't, then we won't have America. In 100 years, we'll be a minority and we'll look like South Africa. It will probably be better economically because at the same time that immigrants, a lot of them work and a lot of them spend money, at the same time, they're also taking up a lot of government resources, schools, hospitals, housing, you name it. I also think that if you have a country with a little bit more coherence, I think the birth rate naturally goes up anyway. I think if people start to feel like America's a real nation, maybe they start to have kids again, if there's a real sense of nationhood. But to tell you the truth, I don't think the economic fallout really should be taken into consideration.
The real issue with immigration in Canada, aside from the obvious, is that not enough people are willing to discuss or address this as a serious issue. Too many people are walking on eggshells, and I'm going to throw myself into that category if I'm being honest, but we all know the truth. It's what we say in the privacy of our own homes, or think to ourselves when we walk into basically any store in Canada. We hear it when we get those spam calls late in the evening. Leftist ideology has pretty much destroyed our country. It's insane that people shrug off the seriousness of these issues. Social politics has been a real game changer for poisoned minds in our country. It's a very strategic game where they control speech and thoughts. Without dissenting voices, who's there to argue and point out the obvious? I personally don't care what someone's opinion is, left or right. As far as I'm concerned, you can say whatever words you want, but different perspectives are needed in order for a society to function, so we can weed out views that lack common sense. And to go even further, we need people in society to say disgusting, abhorrent things so that we can all collectively allow morons to be unveiled for what they truly are, so we can all avoid them. Anyway, rant over. If you enjoy my commentary, consider hitting subscribe to help my channel grow, and hit the like button below the video if you agree with my views.